judgment by my own name.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary. Well, Sino, if that's your story, then why did you see Alhaitham as a target?
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between Alhaitham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Alhaitham?
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we deserve an explanation.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the Traveler.
Alhaitham!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment, I can give you a glimpse of divine knowledge.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information, namely that divine knowledge indeed exists. That gave me all I needed to know. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the academia. Also, you should remember, you were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Alhaitham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly studied. After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous thing in this land.
You should be well aware, Scribe Alhaitham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the academia. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy, for now.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced out. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler and is currently recovering from her illness at home. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style. In that case, welcome back, dear.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Creatures? In the sandstorm? Are you sure you don't want some backup?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage. You needn't worry.
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
The winds died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright? Maybe we should go out and check on her.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are as chatty as the floor.
Too slow. Swollen Fury! The wind rises.
Oh, Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with these creatures the entire time?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated. Before I realized it, even the sandstorm had stopped.
Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now...
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane in action.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
I see everything.
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword.
Bow your head!
Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up?
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Swollen Fury! Search for it!
The creature stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm. So we should be safe for the time being.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the village's elderly and children. I am the chief of Aru village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent. Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of Irminsul.
Another effect of Irminsul's withering. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's present state.
Everyone in Aru Village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they? Village guards like Candace?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to mad scholars, exiled here by the academia. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity. After the academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One bite, but no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few...
I've had encounters with those people in the past.
The Macha are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate...
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty,
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be...
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose it, but is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No, let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far. Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as... Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origin. The academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aruville. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But, initially, the people of Aru Village greatly resented having to take in the mad... Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing building... Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night. All the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots reaching deep in... After that, The people of Aru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness.
A soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru village? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of them—
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities. With that said,
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact—
if you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone. So, what do you make of the story? Really?
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanal—
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. I'm just struck by your— Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current— The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less— In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds.
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a— how should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind and wise.
I've spent many years interrogating criminals.
Good! Then you should know that we—
That look in your eyes. How can this be? To think.
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this investigation. But easier said than done. Especially since we don't have any leads.
Excuse me, are you here to help me find—
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak.
Is your grandpa a mad
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa.
The person you're referring to is not a local. Yet you are.
Grandpa is just Grandpa. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you. I want to find my grandpa. I swear I'll help. I won't be a nuisance.
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was, but I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
Whoa. Hatham wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa. Let's find a way to help him.
Sorry. I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe me, you can—
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
Quit following me.
Sino is super vigilant. Is this what all the Matra are like?
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of Isak?
I had a feeling he'd go looking for you.
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the window. He really wants to get his grandfather back. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. He was raised by his grandfather. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time, So various families in the village took turns caring for him so he could survive. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bore a striking resemblance to his grandfather, and thus often spied on the man. However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man as his grandpa, he was afraid and didn't dare to approach him. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. He even noticed Isak hiding in the distance. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught the boy the names of the stars, and accompanied Isak until he fell asleep. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize his grandpa no longer recognized him. However, even so, it's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time, asking him.
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. But even so, it's also my reason for fighting. I must continue.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over them.
Huh? What did...
No, nothing. As long as Isak keeps his word and doesn't get in our way...
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for. Please accept...
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys!
We've cleared everything up!
Really? Yeah!
All right.
You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms. This thing is pure on forever. Earthquakes and sandstorms. Relax. You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms. You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms. Relax.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms.
Relax.
You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms.
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it, maybe that's their problem.
You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms.
Hinto, hinto, kahit na wala kang hinto. 100% bawat bitaw ko. Mismo, ito kaya mo?
Paano po yung ganito po?
Relax.
You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms.
There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever.
You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms. You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms.
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it, maybe that's their problem.
You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms. You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms.
Relax.
You need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
Excuse me, did you happen to see where the missing scholar?
You mean the village keepers? When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road.
Okay.
Anything else?
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you seen?
Those eyes.
Those fears.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw, but honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them...
Do you also think Grandpa and the...
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man who looks like your grandpa's long-lost twin, right? He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. He happened... It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad...
Gotcha. Think...
Too slow. Quit following me.
Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit and...
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I... And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make...
Oh, thank you.
It was nothing. Hey, you're looking for him, right?
Yeah.
That's no good. I've known you since you were...
Wow.
Okay.
Huh? Don't say anything for now. Let's head over there.